introduce you, okay?
Hey, give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
All right.
Go ahead, man.
So this is Vocab, and he knows a lot of words because he's Vocab, and so I got to meet him down in Arizona, and incidentally, Vocab, Anik and I, my wife and I, are putting our house up for sale in March, and then the goal is to get down there. We'll probably stay in Fountain Hills, and then we're going to see what's going to happen if it all works out. But I can't get a hold of the guy in Fountain Hills, so we don't know what's going to happen. But you know how things are sometimes. So that's the plan. Anyway, so Vocab and I hung out down there. He's a pretty good guy. And when it came to BHI, Black Hebrew Israelite, man, I still remember this. I was driving, and he was sitting in the car with me, and we're going along, and I'm like firing questions at him and not challenging him. I'm like, okay, that would mean this. He's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I go, what about that? He goes, blah, blah, blah. Well, what about that? And he was just going to town on it. He knows his stuff.
Speaking in tongues?
Yeah, he was doing that a couple times. And then actually I said, hey, what about it in English? He goes, oh, well, in that case. And so he really knows his stuff when it comes to Black Hebrew Israelite. And he's supposed to write me some articles for Carm.
Yeah, hey, I gotta email you about that. I'm ready to do it. However, the Christian Research Journal hit me up and they want me to do a real quick article on Hebrew Israelites due in December, and they pay. They pay, so I got to do theirs first, and then I'll do yours. I'll get right to the
thing. Which group will get you more exposure?
I don't know.
How many hits?
It's like this. Anyways, I'll put it this way: they'll
get paid, and then come over here to the slop house, and then you can write something for free.
They're going to subsidize your article because
there you go.
Because that way all
right, sounds good.
Hey, the brother's name in the orange shirt. I didn't catch your name.
It's Ben.
Oh, Ben, I see it now. Okay. Hey, I think Matt asked great questions. I think there would be a couple other good questions if you're open. I wonder how these would fit in with what you believe.
Go for it, man.
So, like, do you think that Timothy, Ben, do you think that Timothy was an Israelite?
You know what? I wouldn't say. I can't say yay or nay.
Well, do you think, how do you think a person's Israelite heritage is properly determined? For example, does their father have to be an Israelite?
I think in these times, I think it's where it says the Spirit beareth witness. So I think it's the conditions of it.
Okay. So would you say there's like a percentage of your blood that would have to be Hebrew for you to qualify as an Israelite? You know, like, for example, there's a lot of programs that if you're Native American, you can qualify for, but you have to have a tribal card, and your blood has to be a certain percentage. You know, it's like 1/16, this kind of thing. What percentage, what fraction would a person have to be Hebrew Israelite to qualify as being able to be that mediator between a Gentile seeking salvation and God? Do you have like a way to determine that?
No, again, I believe the conditions. For example, the curses.
Okay, can you tell me any time in the Bible where Israel determined their lineage by curses they've experienced, as opposed to whether their father or mother was an Israelite?
No, sir, not early in it, but I think that it was towards the latter days.
So you would say you have an extra biblical way to determine Israelite heritage, then?
No, sir. I wouldn't say extra biblical, but again, I would determine in the latter days what is the condition of Israel. What condition will Israel be in the latter days?
Cool. So, for example, Timothy's father, according to Acts 16:1, was a Greek.
Yeah. Well, Job was the Edomite. So will we say Job doesn't have a chance?
Well, no, I don't agree with the presupposition that there's a barrier of an Israelite before Jesus, but you do have that barrier. So do you believe that Timothy would have been qualified, as his father is not an Israelite? Do you think he would have been qualified to play this mediatorial role between a Gentile and Jesus?
I would say so.
So half would be acceptable, even if your mother was the Israelite?
I think because you asked me about percentages and numbers, and I wouldn't even go there. Well, again, what I will go in is when you read the scriptures, when it reads about in the latter days, the condition that Israel would be in.
Okay.
I'll say that. Because so in my hometown, there's places that are lower income and impoverished that the white community dwells in. But would I say that they don't have a chance or they in trouble? Of course not, because they're oppressed by the same beast that we are.
They wouldn't qualify as Israelites, though, would they?
Well, we know strangers dwell with Israel in the Old Testament. So we know there's laws for in the Torah for the stranger.
So hypothetically, someone who lives in like a trailer type situation, who would look like maybe they're from Appalachia, they would look white to everybody. It's possible they could actually be a Hebrew Israelite, according to you, because they're poor and oppressed.
Not at all, but as we know, during the Black Panther Party, we know members of the Black Panther Party went to Appalachia because they were being oppressed the same as the
right. But I'm asking. See, here's what's important, because you're saying that a person has to go to someone who is an Israelite first along. Let's say that here's salvation, and here's the end place you're trying to go. You know, when you take a bus and you're on the bus and you've got to transfer, you've got to get off and go another spot. You know, it's kind of a laborious process to do. You get off, and so the end goal is salvation for a Gentile. Under your reading, you've got to ride the Israelite bus first before you can get on the Jesus bus. Now, that's why it's important to determine this. Now, here's a related question for 1 Timothy himself.
Hold on, Vocab. Just before you ask the next question,
sure,
you're about to, because who you say Jesus was an Israelite, so there is no barrier that you have to go to an Israelite to get to Jesus. What I'm saying, because the word was given to a particular people, who that people has been scattered, that people is just now newly coming into who they are. We talking over at least 1,000 years coming into who they are. In the grand scheme, Israel, because we know the major faiths that cover the earth. One is Christianity, the other is Islam, and you could say Catholicism is the third. And we got the East too. We got, the Eastern religions, but hold on, bear with me. Yeah, we do have the Eastern religions, but concerning the powerhouse nations, America is what they call a Christian nation. We know in the Middle East that they call a Muslim.
I'm trying to let you go, but you're really going off into some other areas. I'm trying to get directly to these soteriological questions. 1 Timothy 2:5 is really, really important. It says this: "For there is one God, and there is one mediator between God and men, the man Christ Jesus, who gave himself as a ransom for all," which is the testimony given at the proper time. "For this I was appointed a preacher and an apostle. I'm telling the truth, I'm not lying, a teacher to the Gentiles in faith and truth." Now, when it says there's one mediator between God and men, why do you try to erect another mediator, which is an ethnic group? Why would you do that?
No, I don't think I did. So you said Timothy, correct?
Yeah, but you said you have to go to a modern day Israelite.
No, sir. Now hold on. Because this is, for everyone's on here for edification. So what I don't want to be done is you putting words in my mouth, because I didn't say that.
So we don't have to go through an Israelite then?
I believe you have to go through Israel to get the word. How? So would you say, would you, in your opinion, would you say that there's an influence of Israel within the Christian, the teachings, the way Israel understood the Bible? Would you say that was there in the Christian church today?
Is the way Israel understood the Bible in the Christian church today? Well, of course, one challenge with that is there's no one way Israel understood the Bible. Even in Jesus' day, you had Pharisees, Sadducees, Essenes at Qumran. You had zealots.
No, I'm not talking.
So to say the way Israel understood the Bible is a very strange question.
No, I'm not. I'm talking because that's under an umbrella. All those people you named, the place that they got their information from was the Bible, whether it was the Sadducees